Good day, everybody. Welcome to Optomed Live. Thanks for joining us on this marvelous Thursday in March. At Optomed, we're always trying to provide great information to young people out there who are trying to figure out their future. And talking with professionals who do the work that they think they would like to pursue is often critical in making sound decisions about job direction and then obviously, academic direction, college major, that sort of thing. And so in that spirit, we are extremely lucky to have with us today Taylor Quinn, owner of Filmspire, a videography company here in Richmond, Virginia. Taylor, thanks for sharing time with us today.
Tom, it's great to be here. Thanks for having me today.
So before we get started about filming stuff,
Sure.
And I get excited because I'm a grandpa. You're just first-time dad, right?
I am a first-time dad. In fact, you might hear him screaming in the background, actually.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
He can participate. Yeah.
Yeah, he can. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
we don't look too exhausted.
No, exactly. Yeah, I'm a new dad as of just about 6, almost 7 weeks now. So, yeah.
So that kind of changes life, doesn't it?
Yeah, I've been telling people I'm getting used to the new normal. So it does change things a bit, but for the better.
Yeah. Well, great. Well, congratulations. So let's start by you sharing your journey to Filmspire. How did you find your way there in your professional life?
Yeah, great question. It's a little long, but I'll try and make it as brief as possible.
Okay.
I'll include some of my education as well, too, because I know we're talking a lot about education today. So I actually attended a university in Newport News, Virginia called Christopher Newport University, where I studied communications. So that was my degree, undergrad. I actually worked there for a year after I graduated, just working in the administrative office for the president of the university, then moved to Richmond, where I really got my feet wet into the world of marketing and advertising and all that kind of stuff. So I worked for a small boutique marketing agency for about a year and a half that did web design. They did online advertising with Google, search engine optimization, branding, radio, TV, you name it, we did it. We actually had a full-time video guy that worked at the company. And I was responsible for a lot of our clients' digital marketing, being found on Google, their online advertising, but I've always had a passion for filmmaking. And I've always kind of just been self-taught with making videos for fun, growing up, or different projects for school. And so I really got hands-on experience in the professional world by working with, alongside the full-time videographer we had at the company. And so I would go on the shoots with him and help him film things, or I could edit if he was swamped with work, so I could kind of do that. So I got some really good hands-on experience that way. And learned about just marketing in general too at the company, which is great. And then I left there, took a different job for a few months before I let go. It just wasn't a good fit, and decided, hey, you know what? I have a passion for filmmaking and storytelling. I have this experience with now marketing, advertising. Let's see if we could bring these two together. And that was sort of the impetus, the idea for creating Filmspire. So that's kind of my journey for how I got to my company today.
So how many years are you in Filmspire?
In April, it'll be 6 years.
Wow.
So yeah, quite the journey so far.
Yeah. So for you, it was the storytelling aspect of videography that really resonated.
Yeah, absolutely. For me, I really was blown away by companies or businesses or nonprofits that I felt like could really tell a compelling story through film and video, and really high quality film and almost a cinematic feel. And so I just found that content to be the most engaging that I'd see online or in social media that brands might produce, things that told the story of their business or things that told the story of their customers, things like that. I just found that to be the most compelling thing.
Yeah. So, they say a picture's worth 1,000 words. I think video's worth 5,000 words.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
in today's market. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what is the typical day like for you?
Yeah.
As a business owner and an operator of a videographer?
Yeah, it's funny. So I am the sole owner employee of my company. So you really do wear a lot of hats as a small business owner. So I have to handle everything from sales, from finding business and trying to close new leads, to onboarding clients, to boring administrative stuff, from emails and phone calls and things like that, and calendars and stuff like that. So there's all those hats you have to wear as a business owner. But then specifically for what I do, the work I do get to put on that creative hat and work with clients to figure out, hey, what kind of videos are we going to make for your business or your organization? What is the strategy? What are your goals you're trying to meet? How can we create video content that meets those goals? And then figuring out what's the story that needs to be told. How do we craft these videos? What are our plot points? What are our key characters? What are our key messages in these videos? And then let's go out and film it and then edit it. So all that fun stuff. So my day can be very varied from just wearing all the hats of a business owner, but it also gets to be a lot of fun when I, get to pick up equipment and film things, or I'm helping to manage a crew that does all of that for me and be more of a director.
So if there's someone's not quite into the chaos of being their own owner and operator of a company, there's different ways you can take this passion for video, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, there's a lot of different avenues. I'd say the main ones that people can pursue are, either start your own business like me, decide, hey, you're going to start your own video agency and you're kind of more of a business owner, but also in creative. And so you kind of have your feet in both worlds. Or you can kind of say, hey, I would just like to be I'm not interested in owning a business or doing all the things that come with the headaches of that. I just want to be a great filmmaker or videographer. And so they go and get hired by an agency to be the video guy for the agency, or for a company. A lot of companies are doing in-house video work. And so they, hire videographers to do that, or they're just simply freelance videographers and they kind of bounce around job to job or from different agency to agency to get hired as subcontractors and do that. So I kind of say for people who want to be involved in video, you can either kind of get involved in the corporate marketing advertising world, or you can truly be involved in like the world of cinema and TV and movie production. And those two things are sometimes very different, but also very similar in the same way. So you can kind of go to the corporate world or more like the media, entertainment world.
Yeah. So I suppose depending on the direction you choose to go, my next question would probably be driven by that decision. I was going to ask, what do you think is the most important characteristic that a person should have to do what you do?
One word: experience.
Experience.
Yeah. For the world of production, the world of filmmaking and video production, there's really one thing you have to do, and you have to do the work. What's great about schools and colleges is you do learn a lot of theory and you learn a lot of education, which you need to have some theoretical understanding background for technical things, for the world of cinema, for lighting and camera work and angles and what things mean and how to tell a story. All that's really important. So you have to have that fundamental education and theory understanding, but you really need to have practical hands-on experience in order to work in this industry. So
would you advise a young person going on that they get into college, they start studying this, that they pursue internships early on because to get that experience?
They do. Yeah. I would definitely encourage people who are really interested to find a local production or a TV show or a movie that's filming in your town and see if you can get hooked up. The ground level where a lot of people start in the production world is being a PA. That's a production assistant. It's really the grunt work. You are there to run and get coffee for people. You're the guy that's being told, I need you to move that tripod from here to there. I need you to like break down this equipment. You're just there to just do anything that anyone ever asks. You're kind of at the bottom of the totem pole, but you get to experience a lot and you get to see a lot. You get to see all the different jobs that are involved in a huge production set. So being a PA, it's a paid position. A lot of times different agencies need PAs or different productions need PAs. So that's a good place to start, is being a production assistant. And then you can kind of see, hey, that job looks interesting. How do I pursuing a cinematographer or a grip or a gaff or a production or a producer? How do I get into those roles? So being a PA is a good entry point into the world of production.
Wonderful. So, Have you found that there are pros and cons? I mean, what would you say was the best thing about what you do, and what do you find the most challenging?
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's interesting. So for me, I think what's unique is that I do run my own business. And being in film and running my own business has its own set of rewards and challenges. For me, what I like about that is I have total control and autonomy. I don't have, some other creative director telling me we need to go to a different creative direction. So I do have a lot of autonomy and creative freedom when I work with my clients within bounds, because my clients obviously have their own thoughts and perspective on how to tell their story and things like that. So, but it gives me a lot of autonomy to and freedom, creative freedom to create things. Now, I'd say that's the best part. The best part is working with clients intimately, getting to know their business and their brand and their mission, and working with them. That's a huge reward in and of itself. The downside is just all the headaches that it comes with being a business owner and having really busy, successful seasons, and then seasons where there's no work coming in, and you're kind of just like, well, where's my next paycheck going to come from? So, that's one of the challenges in this world, and even in the world of production. I know people who work on TV shows. TV shows end, movies end, and so they're trying to find the next gig. So that's why a lot of people in the production world are kind of working project to project. Trying to build a network is one of the biggest things. It's a big network and tight knit community. So when someone says, hey, there's a film coming out here, you should come help us, it's building that network. You can't do this work alone. That's one of the big things.
Yeah. So all that's great. All that's great, Taylor. And I suppose you know this, but I'm gonna tell you anyway. Now that you're a father, you're gonna have to start getting into the habit of providing some wisdom, to your son. So yeah. So my last thing I want to ask, what is that nugget that folks can walk away from? What is that one piece of advice?
Yeah. Well, I think it has a lot to do with the work that you guys do, Tom, at Optimum Ed, is starting out. If you're in high school right now, or even in middle school, there's a lot of great things you can do right now to set yourself up if you want to be in this world. The technology you have access to with your iPhone or other cameras, you can start playing around and learning a lot right now and creating your own content. So I would just say start now. Start creating your own content, because if you do want to go to film school, or if you do want to go to a college or university that has a great cinematography program or broadcast journalism program, those are key things you need to look for if you want to be involved in the world of cinema. My school, as a communication major, some communication departments I feel like do have cinema or broadcast. Mine didn't, unfortunately. But finding the school that does, and then you'll have a real, work you can show them.
Exactly.
And make sure those schools have hands-on experience, real cameras, real sets you can work on to start doing that.
Terrific advice. Taylor, thanks so much for being with us today. It was great information, and have a great rest of your day.
Thank you. Thanks, Tom. Thanks for having me.